Hey guys, so in this video, I want to talk about sideways markets. And if you've been following me for, I don't know, the past few months or the past few weeks, I would keep mentioning the term sideways markets. I would even say it over the past few days that I would say the market has started to move sideways. It has started also to consolidate over the short term. What? Why does that happen? Why do markets move on a sideways level? For those who read my books on technical analysis or those who attended the Stock Smart sessions, I discussed that there in full detail. But for this video, I want to zero in on what triggers it and why do different stocks move sideways, and why does the market also as a whole, why does it go that way? So that's what we're going to talk about. And of course, as I start doing that, I'm just going to show you the charts while I'm discussing it, and hopefully it gives you enough information for you to be able to learn and for you to be able to trade this properly, because at the end of the day, it's all about information and it's all about using that information to your advantage. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor, and I've been in the markets for more than a decade now. And the whole heart and goal of why I created this channel is just I just want to give you a fighting chance. I want to give you as much of what I know, so that you guys can also trade the markets with confidence. Because at the end of the day, being able to trade is all about having the right information and trading it with conviction, not listening to tips, not listening to what your friend is telling you, not listening to what your family member is telling you. It's all about deciding on your own, because it's your money, it's your responsibility. No one will take care of your money more than you. So if you're new, please subscribe and smash the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing and about the stock market. For those of you guys who want to learn more about other topics that's not stock market related, like entrepreneurship, real estate investing, uh, something inspirational, personal success, how to get rich, that's on my second channel. I'm segmenting all of my new videos already. So everything that's not stock market related will be in Marvin Germo podcast. They're in the description below. You can just click that so you get to see that as well. It's fairly new, and I really do hope that you guys can support the channel as well. Now, let's get into the thick of the action. One of the things that I've been saying, if you watch the previous videos, I would do projections like this. That hey, look at this. We're now seeing the stock start to move sideways. We're now seeing it start to consolidate. Basically, why do markets move sideways and they can't just go up or down on a straight line? Look at this first. Look at Ayala Land, same thing. At a certain point, it started to do motions like this from this particular level. In the same way, even if you look at SM Prime, another large cap stock, if you notice it, it's trying to build something right here where it's starting to move sideways again and starting to consolidate. Please remember, it could be from a longer and larger trend also, that if you zoom out, you'll be able to see the main underlying movement of the stock. Like for this, for SM Prime, it came from a large uptrend that it started to drop, and after dropping massively, it started to consolidate. Now, a couple of principles that I'd like to share on why you would see certain stocks move sideways. Number one is this. Uh, Please remember, stocks cannot go up forever, meaning there will come a point in time where those who came in and positioned early, they'll be the ones who will start selling. They'll be the ones who will they're the ones who will take profits. So please remember, people who are in the market are just like you and me. They like to make money off of their trades. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the whole point of you investing, that you get a return on the money that you placed in. So when there are people who came in earlier, regardless of what their conditions are, whether they came in via technicals, whether they came in at fundamentals, everyone has a sell trigger, meaning everyone has a parameter, a narrative that will cause them to sell later on. That being said, let me give you another example. What if there are certain stocks that because they moved up too fast, after moving up too fast, they could move sideways? Let's look at Wilcon. So you have context also on how it looks like. I'll zoom out so you see how it could possibly look. So if you look at it from here, I want to zero in after the IPO happened. Look at this. So from here, during the IPO, Wilcon IPO'd around 5 pesos. Then after that, if you'll try to allow me to measure it, at this point in time, from here, May 2017 all the way here, it went up 53 plus percent in just, uh, we could say after the breakout, no, around a month to 2 months, 53%. That alone is a very, very good level of earnings already for 2 months, especially compared to other funds, compared to other investment mechanisms out there. If I'll measure it here also to the relatively higher point, somewhere around September, so this one is now at least 3 to 4 months from the breakout that happened, it's up 86%. That being said, though, this is where the sideways market would look like. That's how it actually progresses. Now, the thing about that is this. There are people who are earning 53 plus percent. There are people who are earning 86 plus percent. Somewhere within that range, of course, there will be people who will be earning more than that, depends on when they came in. And there will be people also who will be earning less than that, depends on where they also would come in. You have to remember that we don't all go in at the same time. Some people would even stagger their buys. Some people would go in at one go. Some people would have different parameters. But that being said, for some of these people, they will also want to take profits. Now, because they want to take profits, as you if you've attended the Stock Smart sessions or read the books or watched the videos, more sellers, it's all about supply and demand. More sellers bring the prices down. In the same way, more buyers bring the prices up. So when more sellers bring the prices down, you see movements like this there, and you see movements like this, and you see movements like this. And to a smaller effect, you see movements like this, and this. If you are getting this, comment I'm getting this. If you are enjoying so far and you're still at this point in time, super appreciate it if you can click the like and the thumbs up for this video so more and more Filipinos get to see this video as it helps in the YouTube algorithm. Now, allow me to continue with this. So as you start analyzing the sideways market, you will notice that you have portions of the stock start to go down, portions of the stock start to go down. That means there's a group of sellers trying to take profits again because there's a large amount of earnings that they got over a period of time. So normally also it happens when a stock breaks out, moves up fast, a sideways market normally would follow because a lot of people who bought either before the breakout, during the breakout, a few days after the breakout are the ones who would want to take profits on their positions. So people will start selling, people will start taking profits. But here's the thing. If you notice it and you watch the video I posted when Wilcon did an IPO, I also talked about the company. I think it was March 2017 when I made an initial video about it. I said that the company is right smack in the middle of the Philippines consumption-driven economy. It's right smack in the middle of people who are buying condominiums, who are fixing their houses, and there's more disposable income, and the money that they're gonna use is basically for growth. That being said, there was a large expectation that Wilcon would earn not just in 2017, but there was an expectation that there would be growth for the company over a stretch period of time. So that being said, we saw Wilcon start to go down here, down 8%, down 12%, down 17%, down 9%, down 8%, down 5%, etc. So it means that there are certain areas that it went down to a certain percentage point. But what's the whole context of me saying this? The whole context of me saying this is because there was a lot of expectation for pure gold to do better. Once it started to hit the 7.6 level, people started to buy it. As people started to buy it, again, it's what I've mentioned, more buyers bring the prices up. So meaning, boom, after hitting this, went up. After hitting this, went up again. After hitting this, went up. After hitting this, went up. After hitting this, went up. It's just that though, there's still a larger amount of people trying to sell, trying to take profits. but also there's a group of people already supporting and buying it at 7.6 because they're already thinking that even if I buy it at 7.6, hey, it's already cheaper already based on the growth that it could possibly have in the future. And please remember, I've been saying this over and over. Technical analysis does not forecast. Technical analysis does not speculate, but it reads what everyone in the market is saying. Everyone in the market is saying that, hey, at the 7 plus peso level, we believe that it's relatively cheaper already. At the 7 plus peso level, we believe that this is something worth looking at already because we believe that as cheap as cheap as it can be. How do I know people think it's cheap? Because they started to buy. That's one indication for you to know that people are on a broad and mass level are thinking that it's cheap because they start buying, and if they start buying, the stock stops falling. We could come up with whatever speculation we want, we could come up with whatever reason that we want, but the price discounts everything we need to know is found in the stock. Everything we need to know is found in what the charts are telling us, and the charts are telling us here that people were willing to buy it at a 7 peso level. And that's why here the sideways market is happening because again, people who bought earlier are taking profits, but as it starts to go down, there were people who were not able to buy at the start that believed that at this area already, based on its trajectory of growth, that it would start to go massively higher. Now, this is me sharing it from a relatively more optimistic scenario, meaning that the stock starts to break out. Again, the thing about sideways markets is no one can also guess. There are a lot of hypotheses that it should last for this number of days, it should last this number of weeks, it should last this number of months. Whereas trying to guess how long it will take, don't you don't need to guess, you don't need to forecast it. Just actually wait and up until it either bounces from support and then you start to buy, or it starts to break out, then you start to buy also at those areas. So if you notice it, the way you make money off of it, or the way you analyze it, or what or specific triggers that you could actually use is mainly based on what the chart is dictating, what the triggers of the chart are dictating to you as well. So that's how it normally is. So from an optimistic scenario, you would see markets move sideways when you see certain stocks push up, when you see certain stocks also experience some take profits. But on a different note, when people take profits, it does not go lower because at a certain point in time, people already think that this is already way too cheap. That's why you don't see the stock go down anymore. On a more uh, on a more pessimistic scenario, let's look at what happened today, 2020. As you all know, a lot of the stocks have started to drop, especially last March after the big drop in March. And if you've watched the other stocks by request videos that I posted, I would say it consistently that the market has started to consolidate already. The market has started to move sideways already, and I want to look at that. So I'm trying to think of what stock to put. Let's just say Ayala Corp na lang para simple. Let's look at AC Ayala Corp. So if you're gonna analyze Ayala Corp, I said it that Ayala Corp after the main drop, and if you notice from the previous videos of Ayala Corp, it's still very consistent. Also that it's still on a downtrend. It's still very consistent. Also that from here, the breakdown here, that the movement downward is still pretty much in effect. Now that being said, I want to put this particular level here and up to this level. So when I said the market was starting to move sideways, when I said the market was starting to consolidate, it was under this context that it was moving and ranging at this level. And if you make some sort of a region where you know that it's starting to consolidate, you could actually say here, the larger consolidation range is at the 392 level, and then the resistance from that consolidation range is at around the 607 level. But if you're trying to narrow it down, the shorter range would be here, uh, 515 to 607. So why does that happen also? Just try to think of what I said earlier and then just flip the concept. You have to remember that certain applications, when you see stocks go up, there are certain applications also that on the flip side, on the downside, that's what possibly would happen to it as well. Now, for Ayala Corp, we all know that Ayala Corp is a good company run by great people, historical track record of good earnings, historical track record of growth, that they survived so many recessions already, so many bad political attempts to overthrow the government. So they're a good company with a solid reputation, that they will always get the job done, that they will always do well, that even on bad times, they will find a way that when all is said and done, when the bad times are over, that they will come out of it bigger, better, and stronger uh, in the grand scheme of things. Now, as I start analyzing this for all of you, you notice it also started to move sideways, but on the opposite side. The first example I gave you, Wilcon, during the IPO, it moved up during uh, it moved up, then it started to move sideways. This is the opposite. It moved down, then it started to move sideways, and it started to consolidate. Why? Because the drop naman was too fast. Although there's a lot of fear, I mentioned this in the previous videos, that when markets drop, there's a lot of fear. People sometimes don't really care about the valuations. They don't care about the company. When they're scared, they sell. When people want to be liquid, they sell. And again, more sellers bring the prices down. And when more sellers bring the prices down, regardless of what the company is, you will see the price start to go down and you see it start to drop. So why did it start to consolidate? Why? Because there's a couple of things that I do know. Around the 392 400 peso level, majority of the people in the market invested, regardless if they're retailers, regardless if they're funds, regardless if they're local funds, or they're international funds. Everyone already thought that it was already cheap. And if there's one thing that I know, when everyone else thinks it's cheap, they start to buy. And when everyone else starts to buy, there's an expectation that the stock that you're watching is not going to go down anymore. And that's what happened to Ayala Corp. Somewhere around the 392 level, if you look at it here, you notice it started to bounce already. But after that, it started to hit the 606 level, then it started to move sideways again. And the whole notion that you're seeing here is basically because everything is moving on a sideways level. Now, why did it not go up and fully reverse? Couple of things. Because people bought it because it was cheap, but they're not buying it because they're seeing growth. They're just buying it because it's cheap. And if there's one thing that I would always stress on our Stock Smart seminars, is that there are two types of buyers. One that wants to buy when it's low and it's cheap, and one that buys higher because they think that there's growth. What we have right now in the current Philippine scenario are buyers who are buying because they think it's cheap. They're not buying because they think that currently there's growth. Why? Again, there's still a lot of fear. There's still no cure. There's still no vaccine. Whatever movements up that we will see, there will be some people who will take profits because they don't know also. Everyone's uncertain. They don't know how long this will drag. They don't know also how big of an impact it will be to the listed companies, that if there's no cure and that we're still on a lockdown, a lot of companies are still not making money. Most likely their earnings this year either would be very, 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 very minimal. For some that will have earnings, for some it will be flat, but majority, a lot of people are expecting that their earnings won't be as good, won't be so attractive, and there would be even companies that may lose money also during this particular period of time. So that being said, if you're a person who bought at 392 and then there's still uncertainty and then your stock is already up 56%, won't you be tempted to sell? Won't you be tempted to sell because you know, since there's uncertainty, there's a big shot that it may go down again, and then you can buy it back at almost the same level as what you bought it. And that's what I want to hammer to you guys. Sideways markets happen also when there's a lot of irrationality that happens prior to it. Meaning, you see the market start to go up, then it moves sideways. You see the markets massively start to go down, then it moves sideways again. So that's the narrative. That's the goal. That's how it is. Large move up, sideways. Large move down, sideways. It does not go up in a straight line all the time. It does not go up and reverse. It would reverse on an uptrend and then it's just gonna zoom and go up. It's not just gonna continue to go down and it's gonna go to zero. I'm gonna make another video pala. No? A lot of people have been so scared about stocks dropping to zero or moving to zero. I'm here to tell you that that's not also possible. That there are instances also that people are so scared because there's a lot of news that some companies might fold up. What if our money goes to zero? So there. I'm gonna discuss that in the next video right after this. So if this is coming at 8 o'clock, coming out at 8 o'clock, probably the next video will be around 9:30. Expect that there. If you want that, why companies won't go to zero? Put it in the comment section. I want more. Then I'm gonna make the video based on how you guys requested it. Because at the end of the day, as you all know, that's all I want. I just want to educate you guys. I just want to give you guys as much info as possible so that you guys could win. So, do you guys have any questions from this video? Put them in the comment section, and I'm gonna make more videos on top of the questions that you're asking. Then, aside from that, I have online courses with Chinkitan. It's in the description below. It's a basic course on the stock market. It's called Stock Market for Everyone. Then I have 5 books. Shopee is now available. You can order the books via Shopee. The link to order is also in the description below. Along with my online store. For those who are in areas that Shopee does not cover, you can go to the online store besides Shopee. Then another course, Make Money, Grow Money. It's another online basic stock market course with Sean C. It talks about business, entrepreneurship, stock investing, and everything else that you need to know, everything else that you want to know about trading the markets with confidence. So I hope you guys got a lot from this. Stay tuned for the next videos. We just hit 100,000, 103,000 subscribers already in this main channel. Thank you so much. On my other channel, we are already at 1.7. When I say 1.7, the 1.7 million, 1,700 subscribers. So it's a nice journey also, no, for me to see how the second channel will grow, and I want you guys to be part of it. So if you want to know more about most of the videos that I'm creating and you want to be part of all of them, uh, head over also to the second channel, Marvin Germo Podcast, and I hope that you get tremendous value from it. So this is Marvin Germo, giving you enough insights so that you get to trade the markets with confidence and so you get to win. And I hope this video, guys, helps you, and I hope this pushes you to trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.